What's poppin', y'all? We could have never seen this coming a couple of months ago. Honestly, more like 6 months ago. But YBN Nahmir is making the first big comeback of 2021. And not only that, but he's also surpassing his former groupmate and friend, formerly known as YBN Cordae. Now, drop the YBN and he's just Cordae. After having his album pushed back that was supposed to be released in December on his birthday, and he announced it in the summer of 2020, things were not looking too hot for Nahmir. There were memes going around about him after his song with Yo Gotti was a massive flop. Then the Wake Up song that turned into a massive meme. That song was such a meme because it was funny and the majority of people did not enjoy the song. They just thought it was a great beat that was ruined. But some fortunate things came together for YBN Nahmir. A little out of his control, but I have speculations about that. Opstapa started getting a little poppin' on TikTok, as was Nahmir, consistently creating content on there. Keep in mind, this song Opstapa is really old. I mean, 2 years ago or so, if I'm not mistaken. But some things happened that allowed for 21 Savage to hop on the remix to this song. If you watch YBN Nahmir's interview with No Jumper, I really suggest you watch it. It's a great interview. He briefly mentions there's some issues he's had with older people or older heads that are involved with his business and career that weren't or aren't allowing him to operate how he wanted to operate. But I also have really good reason to believe that these older heads that Nahmir referred to in that interview that he had some minor frustrations with, we don't know the scenario behind that. But they're also likely the ones that organized for this 21 Savage feature on the Opstapa remix. Because you and I both know, or we should know, 21 Savage and YBN Nahmir weren't some really close friends, boys, or anything like that. They aren't even really in the same lane very much. I don't know if they even met before they recorded that music video. So there had to be some outside force being a link and an influence on 21 Savage to do that feature. Because it was not the greatest decision that 21 Savage could have made at that point. He was scorching hot at this point in time. He still is, but we're talking pre him getting on the remix. 21 is damn near a superstar now. Ask yourself, why would 21 Savage do a feature with YBN Nahmir, of all other people that were probably asking for 21 Savage features, who YBN Nahmir had just had a bunch of press, memes, and people on YouTube speaking about his situation that was not a good one to be in a rap career. Even if they wanted to pay 21 Savage for the feature, it still feels like he wouldn't have done it, so it had to be some politics or connections between both of their camps. Regardless, it happened. The song is good. The outcome was great. The remix was good with 21 Savage, and they recorded a music video to it and released it very promptly, which is great moves by Nahmir and his team, and guess what happens? The song debuts on the Hot 100 at number 99. The first time YBN Nahmir has hit the charts in years. I really followed the song on the charts. It fell off the charts the second week, but it came back the week after, peaked at number 78, and this week that I'm releasing the video, it's currently at number 80. This is massively positive news for YBN Nahmir, and I'm glad he's bouncing back. Contrary to what some people might believe or assume, I want YBN Nahmir to win, and I'm glad to see him coming back on these charts and also capitalizing on this upswing of success. Like the title suggests, Nahmir, who had originally given Cordae a career, letting him ride the wave of YBN, had fallen off in relation to Cordae, who was getting all these looks and doing bigger numbers. However, and I strongly say this, Nahmir ahead of him right now in the race if we're keeping it real. Cordae has never touched the Hot 100 charts ever with any song. And he released 2 singles last year. One of them with Roddy Ricch, which was definitely an attempt at a hit, because Roddy Ricch was arguably the hottest rapper of last year, the box that felt like it was number one for forever. Not to mention, they got a music video for that song with Cordae and Roddy Ricch, and not only any music video, on top of that, they got a Cole Bennett music video for it. So they pulled out all the stops to make that single work, and it didn't really chart. But here we got Nahmir going up. So I know for a fact he got to be feeling himself right now. As he should be. It's well deserved. The label is really helping Nahmir out here too. while I'm making this, the remix got 27 million streams on Spotify, which is 7 million more than the original song, and they have this track up high on nearly every single one of the biggest Spotify playlists, rap related at least, or rap adjacent, which we all know this playlisting is what decides what songs are charting and how high they go on the charts, but there's gotta be a certain synergy with playlists putting it up high and people also coming back to the songs. My favorite move out of all of this was the fact that YBN Nahmir dropped another song while his stock is going up with the Op Stopper remix. He released this track Balcony on March 2nd just as another song to really feed the fans and the new fans coming in. And this surprised me because if you remember some statements I made, I said I was worried that Nahmir might have forgot how to make music because the stuff he was releasing had been weak, to say the least. And I didn't know if he had a bunch of songs recorded and saved from when he had just blew up, but this song disproves that. Whether or not it's newly recorded, it's definitely the style of Nahmir that the old fans really rocked with, and he released another song on March 11th titled Fast Car Music. Now this song ain't really like old YBN Nahmir, but the song is still a great track. It's got that upbeat energy and is a very different type of beat than what he used to hop on. But I personally think it's a good transition into the more modern era where you got all these poppin' rappers hopping on beats like this. Things are coming together great for YBN Nahmir because him going up on TikTok as well as his song opens him up to an audience who never knew who he was in the first place. It's a totally fresh new set of fans as well because they were way too young when he had first blew up. So they don't have that perception of this is a rapper that was popping and fell off and is now trying to blow up again, which is a perception that you really sometimes struggle to get out of. I'm rocking with Nahmir's hustle right now. The only question is that of the album that he's supposed to release. Is it a good time to release the album now or in the near future, I should say? I'm not too sure how the numbers would look on that album first week. Me personally, I would probably release something that I as Nahmir would call a mixtape or really short EP, which we all know is sort of an album. Probably an EP is a better choice. But the majority of fans will just, buy up anything the artist says, even if it's a full album and they call it a mixtape. So if he just labels it and promotes it as, yo, this is a mixtape or an EP to keep y'all fed while I work on perfecting this album, or the label won't let me release this album until later, so here's this EP, most people won't really care too much about the first week sales. Or the label might just put them in a situation where they keep trying to push the song, and if by the grace of God it hits top 40 and really turn into this massive hit, then release the album, I should say. Similar to the situation of St. John, who released his album when Roses was really, really up and up for a long time. At this point in time, I'm not sure what a Nahmir album would sell. But me personally, if Nahmir sells anything above 15K, I think that's a solid sales week. I wouldn't call that a flop by any means. And if he sells over 20K, that's a huge W. But I'm glad to be witnessing and covering not only the fall off and low moments of YBN Nahmir's career, but also his bounce back this year that happened so quickly after those low moments, and hopefully it continues. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to this channel too. I'm going to be dropping the majority of videos on here. Leave a like and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Peace.